No, so we are live. Hi, hi
Hey,
Neil.
hey, Precious, how are
Welcome
you?
to today's. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Welcome to today's Tublian live session. Um. Okay. There's no one here yet, but I hope
That's
that more
okay.
people are going to join. And then
Yeah,
at some point, when we start the conversation, I'm going to share to the Tublian community, so we have some of them jump in here and be
okay.
part of the conversation. All right.
Yeah,
So thank
yeah,
you very much for doing this. Thank you very much for being here. Um, Okay, let's get started. So this is Tublian Live. This series, just so I can introduce this series to everyone, this series is something that we started so that we can engage more with the community members, people, and also our users at Tublian. And also, most importantly, tell the Tublian stories. In the coming week, we are going to break down all our features. We are going to tell you why we built features like 8020. We are going to tell you why we build things like the open source finder while we are doing monthly challenges and every single thing that we are doing on Tubian. We are going to tell you our thinking, our reasoning behind why we started those things. So today we are basically going to tell you the Tubian story, right? And then when we are done talking about the future, we're going to start showing you what we are building so that you'll be
Mhm.
part of our building process. But for today, we are going to tell you the Tublian stories. So I'm going to ask Melanja some questions as to why he started Tublian, the reason, you know, what's the transformation we've had over the past 3 years. I can remember some of you joined us when we were doing open source, some of you joined us when we were doing the jobs copilot, we've launched a lot of AI tools over the like it's like 4 or 5, but because I'm inside, I know the level of work that goes in, right? So we are going to get into all of that. Yeah. So hi Neil, do you want to like introduce yourself?
Yeah, hey, everyone. My name is Nilanjan Ray Chowdhury. You can call me Neil. So I'm the founder and CEO of Tublian. This started as a passion project on the side while I was doing my job. Then I essentially do this full time. The one of the fundamental reason for me to start this project or this product or this company was to essentially give back to community. I'm a software developer myself. I'm pretty hands-on. I still code. This for me was kind of package all the things I've learned throughout the years working as a developer, contractor, freelancers, team lead, running a company. I've kind of have a breadth of knowledge. Can essentially get back to community saying and all the things that the work for me. Can I teach that to others? Um, So that's kind of the genesis of Tublian. There's another interesting reason why I started this is that I have a very non-traditional background. I haven't done computer science or engineering. When I started programming, one of my friends showed me computer. I really started liking programming, and that's how the whole thing started. So I feel like now we're getting to the point where some of this are becoming very relevant, right? All of us programming or being a developer is such an interesting thing. It doesn't matter what you have done in the background. Anyone can become a programmer. So we package lots of stuff with the Tublian to essentially do that. Now our mission essentially became more important, and I now live with this. Is as the AI coming along and doing a bunch of magic for us, there is obviously this thing about what's going to happen to software engineering. So we have a very strong point of view, a vision, thesis about what the future of software engineers is going to look like. And through Tublian and our community, we kind of shaping that future essentially.
Yeah. I think that's a very interesting reason to start a product like Tublian because I personally I believe that this tool is going to be very important. We're going to probably get to a stage where almost every developer will have to need Tublian because it's like a suit. It's like a 360 suit from learning to growing your career to earning money. So it's going to become like a suit where if you're a developer in probably in we have people from South Sudan, we have people from Bangladesh, we have people from Venezuela, different parts of the world, right? You are going to use Tublian to break through, leveraging AI and all the amazing things that AI is doing for you. So if you're not yet in, I think you should get in. Right. So let's get back into telling the story. So Heidi, do you mind? I mean, you mentioned that you were a software developer, right? And you started this as a passion project, right? Can you tell us a little bit about your experience while you were a software developer, some of the things that you did? So just talk us through your
Yeah,
story
yeah.
as a software developer. Yeah.
So, so when I started, obviously I struggled a little bit because I didn't have the degrees and stuff like other engineers had in the market. So going back to the idea of kind of hacking the system, right? I figured out how to hack the system, and one way I did that was I started building computer games. That has that helped me a lot to become a better programmer and obviously enjoy building them. When you put stuff like that on your resume, which not many people do, they're probably going to say, I did project, I did my graduation in here, here is my certificates, versus, no, I build this stuff, you can go and check it out. That's the first time I realized that I started to get attention, right? Then I started getting called for interviews, and that's how I landed my first opportunity. And when I came to US, on a work visa, there's another aspect I wanted to. I had a kind of imposter syndrome, a little bit, saying that, wait a minute, I'm here not because I'm cheap. I'm here because I'm really talented. That also drove me a little bit to kind of demonstrate how can I demonstrate that I'm really good at something. That drove me to open source. That's why Tublian has a very big focus on open source, because I think open source is really, really important, especially for builders. And it's a very reasonable way to kind of demonstrate, hey, I have done that, and also gain an experience. So I've started doing lots of open source. That gave me the next break. Then along with doing open source, one of the things that every engineer has to go through some point of time is you have to continuously reinvent yourself, right? You have to keep up with. Today you are learning LLMs. Tomorrow you have to figure out how to build RAG. There are always new technology and new tools coming out, right? Software is just not boring by any means. So that also means is that as you upgrade, one of the things that becomes very, very important is that you have to put bets on things, right? For an example, if you're about to get started with AI, you are already a bit late, right? Things are already picked up. There is a huge acceleration in here. So like that, you need to tap into trends very early on. So I played a couple of bets, and one of the bet really paid off, and that gave me another huge break, gave me an opportunity to write a book about it. I roamed around the world. I speak to lots of international conferences. So those are the hacks that really, really help, which you're gonna be noticing a lot of stuff in Tublian platform, right? There's a flavor of those hacks that we use, because I do believe some of these hacks could have a life-changing experience for you. Now, with AI, I think it's becoming really, really important to at least talk about this. Is that I feel like for the first time, we all have a huge opportunity or set of tools which allows us to go from idea to actually working product as fast as possible, right? I remember I always used to have like weekend projects. So I'm going to build this over the weekend. Obviously, it was not easy to build the whole application over the weekend because technology was not there. So we're going to end up working on a weekend, 20% done, 30% done. I ended up like in 20 different projects that never completed. Fast forward now, I mean, in a given weekend, you can build 3 applications if you want to, because you have all these tools and technology. I think there is this, going back to again betting on things, I think there is this underlying trend that we need to catch up quickly. And one of the things that I encourage all our community members to bet on is now you can empower yourself and have 10x capability. 10x. So what are you gonna do with this superpower? And if you can harness this superpower, figure out how to channel this, then you can build an amazing, successful career. And that's what we are heavily focused on right now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I think that's great. I mean, the ability to, bet on something, the ability to
Yeah.
bet on something, and then also
Yeah.
like finding your way around using public building, open source, those kind of things. I mean, people
Yeah.
sometimes
Okay.
talk about open source as if it's something that is for. Sometimes people look down on open source, but it's actually a very powerful way for you to like get yourself. People focus a lot on, oh, I need an internship so I can get experience, I need this so I can be able to get this, no one wants to hire me, forgetting that open source is one of the easiest way to build stuff, easiest way to get things out there and show people what you can do and your ability. So let's talk about Tublian for a little bit, right?
Is there a way to share
Get into
links
open
with
source.
this?
Yeah, so I think you can drop a comment. You can drop it in the comment, and then we can make it
Oh, comments.
live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to share
So
this
you can drop it.
manifesto slide. It's kind of hidden in the footer. Maybe we should make it big and bold at the top.
Okay.
But anyone who is watching this later on wants to figure it out, what's this our mission really looks like, can visit our manifesto page.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the link there on the screen. So that's our manifesto link there on the screen. Right.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So hi, Mary Blessing. Thank you for joining. All right. So I want to ask you like an open-ended question. Like, um, the question is very simple, and I want you to like take as much time as you need to answer it extensively, right?
Mhm.
And the question is, what is Tublian?
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's a good question. So Tublian is a platform that helps developers to uh, build portfolio. So it's kind of an end-to-end platform that helps. We need to have a crisper version of this. Helps developers to build portfolio, then using that find opportunities, right? And then move to the third step, which is actually scale. So if one way to break down would be is that if you're, it doesn't matter where you are in your journey to become a software engineer, you could be really early on emerging software devs, which we have many of them, or you could be professional. So the first thing that Tublian does is that with this concept of what we call street cred is let's put you on the map, right? There are millions and millions of software developers. How can we put you on the map? Saying, hey, this is me, this is Neil, I'm passionate about this. Here is all the amazing things I've done. That's the first step. That's the first problem we got to solve. So that's essentially what we call building your portfolio, build your kind of credibility. The second thing which we are spending most of the time right now is, okay, now you have a credibility. How can we match you with an opportunities? And I say that over and over again, and I think it's important to mention that here again. I think great talent is everywhere. They're evenly distributed around the world, but opportunities are not, right? So there is this huge gap. That's what we're trying to address. Now that you have your identity, your credibility established, how can we match you with an opportunities? So building lots of interesting stuff there. Now, when we do that, going back to the idea of how can we make you 10x, okay? Not one project, how can you do 10 projects, 100 projects, maybe more, right? That's the scale, that's the power of the technology we have here. So the end, what essentially we are offering is this value that helps you not only build an amazing career, also grow as a person, right? I mean, and have this fulfilling experience as you walk through Tublian. That's kind of our goal. So it's not very, so our always focus has been from the beginning is this is not transactional. You don't come in here, I want to find an open source project. Let's go to Tublian, find something, and okay, I'm done. This is kind of, we are partnering with you for your whole professional life. Um, so that's what we're trying to build, your sidekick, your partner, if that makes sense.
Oh, wow. That's a very interesting one. I don't think I've heard you answer this question before. I don't think I've
It's a
heard
good
you
question.
answer this question before. Yeah. So if you're a developer and you're here with us, it's a suit. It's not just a come in, get it, go out, right? It's a come
Yeah.
in, integrates. That is why we ask you to do a lot of things. We ask you to update your profile. We need you to, I mean, with the new features we are launching, we're probably going to start asking you to give us some of your writings so we can be able to understand you better. And when we
Mhm.
understand you better, we can be able to support you all through your developer process, from when you started learning to where you start building your street credibility, building your portfolio to the point where you start earning. I mean, if you start earning, we are happy, right? So, and that is one of our major goals to make sure that you start earning. So, I think just a quick one. So, I'm a developer, right? And I want to get into Tublian. How do I get started?
Yeah, so the only prerequisite we expect you to have is a GitHub profile, which I think is kind of obvious. Like I'm assuming every developer has it. If you don't, it's very easy to create. You go ahead and create one. So once you do that, if you go to tublian.com, you're going to find uh, the login link there. And if you click, it will just go you through that experience. So we get your GitHub profile that tells us a little bit about you, because one of the thing about Tublian is very data driven, right? Your we To become a very effective sidekick, we really have to understand what you're passionate about, what you care about, what you really want to do, right? So that's why we are a very data driven company. And throughout the one onboarding experience, we're going to be asking you a few questions. What's your passion? What are you interested in? What do you want to get out of Tublian, right? There are lots of people come in Tublian. Like I said, you could be a different part of the journey saying, I'm just a student. I want to become a great developer. I'm really not looking for opportunity right now. Some folks comes in saying that, no, I got this. Find me opportunities, right? So once we gather all this information, then that's kind of it. Then you go to Tublian, then all the AI machinery and copilots kind of kick in. The first thing you're gonna notice is your score, which we call street cred. It's something that we created. It's our kind of our secret sauce, essentially. That fundamentally the reason for doing this is that we wanted to find an unbiased, very quantitative way to figure out where do you stand compared to other developers. So if we don't measure something, we need to measure something to get really good at something, right? So that's why we measure that, and every behavior within Tublian kind of drives that score. So then Tublian platform is gonna put some recommendations for you. Hey, new user, here are 3 things you could do to improve your score. Or hey, new user, here's a couple of opportunities I found for you. So that's how usually we engage our users and community to kind of continue to grow. So we are not there yet, but our goal is that even if you spend a couple of minutes on Tublian, our object is always is uh, that you get value out of this. So last thing I would regret if somebody calls me like, "Hey, using Tublian was a waste of time." That's going to be our like that's we really don't want to do, right? One of the things is that anything you do, I mean, some people spend minutes and hours maybe playing with 80/20, learning more stuff, but value. So we are very value focused. So as you do this, as you work with this platform, the beauty of this platform is the more you interact, the better it gets. So better it understands about your interests, your passion, and things you want to do. So more recommendations, more help it can provide. Now there are some exciting tools coming out next month that we just can't wait to show you all. that's going to take you to the next level of how fast you could do. Because what we really want to do now is that once you know what you really want to do, what you want to achieve in life, the goal of Tublian is that how can you fast track that, right? That's all the automation and tools that we provide to do. Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah,
I keep saying
I
it makes
think I
sense all
think
the
that
time.
makes sense.
Okay.
I think it makes perfect sense, right? So the next thing I would like you to do is to walk us through the AI tools that we have currently available on Tubian. So
Okay.
I mean, like a high level overview, because in the coming
Yeah, yeah.
weeks we are going to go into
Yeah,
all
yeah,
the
totally,
tools, do a
totally.
demo of how it works, right? So can you give
Mhm.
us like a high level overview of all the tools and how it can benefit the developer? Yeah.
Mhm. So, all the tools that I'm going to give you a very high level description, some already out there, some is available in the beta mode, some is coming in the future. Okay. So not everything is out there if you log in right now. We're working very hard to get them out. So based on like going back to again those three pillars we talked about, right? Build, win, and scale, right? If you on the build phase, that means, hey, I want to grow. That would mean essentially, yeah, I was wondering about we can share the screen. That's beautiful. Yeah, awesome. So this is what I was talking about. When you log in, that's 25 is Precious score here. Not that great score, Precious. You need to work on that. Uh, but this is what I was talking about. This is the dashboard. Everybody going to have a different view of the dashboard because, like I said, it's personalized. Now on the sidebar, if you see, you're going to see some of the links out there. So 80, let's start with 80/20. Maybe we should change the order. So there are a couple of tools would be very interesting to you if you're in the build phase. That means you want to grow as a developer, or you're learning something, you want to be kind of improve your credibility, your skills. 80/20 is that one of the most popular AI tools we have, which is essentially your private AI tutor. What it does is that based on your prompts, so think of this as a layer on top of, it's just like Chat GPT for learning. So like Precious is typing in prompt, and this is a box you can type in whatever you want. You could say, um, I'm a Python developer, very interested in machine learning, but I am moving to JavaScript. Can you tell me how can I use AI libraries using JavaScript? The interesting thing about this prompt is the tool will know, okay, you have enough, you have knowledge about Python, so it's going to generate a very customized, tailored roadmap or course for you that will take into account that you know Python and explain you JavaScript in terms of Python, if that makes sense. So there are lots of interesting stuff here. The goal here is that, again, how can I save your time and how can you quickly learn what you want to learn? That's what it does. So on demand, it's going to create this. And one of the unique thing it has is that not only it can design the roadmap or courseware for you, which if you focus on should be able to do it in a couple of days and learn that skill. It goes out on the internet, it finds all the relevant content for you. So no more going to Google and searching for things. It just will just do it for you in a couple of minutes. That's what the 80/20 does. So Precious just generating a roadmap right now here.
I think it's taking a little bit of time today, though. Yeah, oh yeah, it's here. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is completely tailored for Precious. It's driven by what all the things Tublian knows about Precious, its profile, and it's going to customize this roadmap based on that, and obviously on your prompt. And once Precious, okay, maybe you can open one here. As you opening it, it's essentially going out on the web and finding out all the relevant content matching to you, matching to this course. So again, no more Google searches figuring out which is right content for you. This kind of solves it for you. since we're keeping in high level, so this gets used a lot. I mean, this is one of very popular tool. Now the thing we do is that, okay, now you great, you know about Python and AI. You want to kind of flex your muscles, saying that, hey, I want to build something with this. This is where you go to search for open source projects. It's another copilot there that will know your interest and kind of bubble up relevant open source projects for you. Okay. Now, again, going back to our theme, how can we save you time and get to where you want to get at? So the first two issues that you see on the screen is purely customized for you. So the Copilot kind of run behind the scene to figure it out. For Precious, these two issues make sense. Okay. With every issue, you see an estimated score. That essentially is that if you complete it, you'll get that street cred. So your street cred is going to go up. That's what typically our community member does. They work on these issues because they all want to improve their street cred. There is another thing we do on top of this, which is we like to build this product with the community. So we have this aspect of challenges. This is where what we do is that we open section on of our so I'm keeping it high level. We can have a session separately on other specific tools. We keep it. So in challenges, what we do essentially is that we open part of our backlog and allow essentially do bounties on them. We say, hey, we want to build this. And this is a good one that recently closed last week. What we want to do is that for 80/20 bubbles up lots of YouTube videos. What we want to do is that we want to transcribe those YouTube videos, fit into our chat bot, so that our users can have conversation with videos essentially. Hey, in this video, the presenter is talking about this. Can you explain me this more? So all this stuff. So we thought of, instead of we building it, we open up a community. We got lots of submissions. So community jumped in and implemented this challenge for us. We're going to be announcing the winners this week, by the way. So that's kind of a build phase. The next thing that we are really going on is that, okay, I feel like I know my stuff. Let me I want to actively look for an opportunities. Now in Tublian, we define opportunities a little differently, right? I mean, obviously, you can go for full-time opportunities. The job scope pilot can help you. What it's doing now is, again, based on your data, going out on the web and trying to find matching job opportunities for you. Okay, this is for Precious. And then you can, obviously, applying for an jobs is always tricky and hard, because is it the right job for me? Is it matching? We help you there as well. Save time, right? So if you, Precious, can you click Explore with Copilot? Oh, you can search for it. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, or you can search for it too. Precious here searching for it for a job opportunity here. It helps if you specify city and country. So you can say, hey, I'm looking for JavaScript front-end jobs in New York City or Lagos, Nigeria. So then our copilots will do that. So pick one of them if you like. Yeah, now what's happening is that our copilot is kind of getting the details and figuring out what's really matching for you. It's going to summarize the job description for you, saying this are some of the requirements, and probably next section is even more important. So it's now checking, are you the fit? What's the match looks like? So in this case, it's saying that you have a really decent match, so you should definitely apply. So we don't stop there though. We also highlight some of the things missing. This is important because when you go to the interview, you know which other things you need to prepare. And you can use 80/20 to prepare them if you want to. Essentially, you can paste the whole description from here, put it in the 80/20 prompt, and it will generate an exactly customized roadmap for you to prep for that interview. Now here, what our Copilot did is not only it's give you the link to apply for a job, it actually can generate a customized resume for you. So for every job, you can have a tailored resume. In this case, yeah, if you click that, yeah, go for PDF, or you can do a Word document. You can download. What's happening here is that for this particular job descriptions, our Copilot is kind of generating a tailored resume for you. This is ATS friendly, so it's all the checks and balances is gonna add the necessary keywords that you have just to make sure your resume essentially match. So this is automatically generated. The next version of this that we are actively working on right now is we are kind of expanding the boundary of job opportunity to freelancing. To my viewpoint, where I stand, I feel like the freelancing job's going to increase 10x because that's what the data shows. Most of us, and every one out of every three developers essentially does a side gig and side hustle to make extra money. So this tool going to start also showing up lots of freelancing opportunities for you so that we can apply for them. Yeah, it does many things. I mean, we should probably have a dedicated session on Jobs Copilot. The other thing that actively in progress, obviously, in the next version of this, another thing we are working on is as you start to get into these projects or freelancing projects or work on multiple projects, you need scale, right? I've been talking about now we're moving to the world of scale. So we helped you build your credibility, we helped you find opportunities. Now we help you scale. Instead of working on one project, how about you work on 3 projects? So we have 2 agents that coming out, an autonomous agent. One is going to be the dev agent. Hopefully, again, next month, we're going to make it generally available for everybody. This agent, what it will do is that you add this agent to your project, your GitHub project. It could be open source project. It could be a project that you're working for your freelancing client, and assign issues to this dev agent. And dev agent, as your kind of junior, as a team member, it will start working for you. Then there are other agents coming up which will help you kind of do project management for you. So essentially, the next version of Tublian, what we're trying to do is build kind of grouping all this into what we call boldly an operating system that kind of manages your day-to-day business, right? This is a business operations operating system. That means a collection of tools that help you stay up to date in the market, connection of and tools that help you find opportunities, and set of tools that help you manage all this complexity. So that's our kind of end-to-end solution.
Wow, wow. Thank you very much. So if you are here and you have any question, please kindly use the comments. We are going to see them here and we're going to answer them. So Neil, I'm going to put some of the questions on the screen so you can see them. So Mary Bless said being ATS friendly is great. So yeah, thank you, Mary Blessing. All right. And then she said, does he make the text? I believe this is text to sound human. So does it
Yes,
sound
this
human? How
this is a
human?
challenge. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is a challenge. So next week we're releasing something, or this week, it's Sunday already. Is what we want to do is when we generating those resumes for you with summaries, it does sound very AI-ish text. So what we are providing an option for users. Part of the profile is to share some samples. So for an example, if Mary Blessing wants to generate a resume, tailored resume, what Mary Blessing can do to avoid this problem is that Mary Blessing could share some of her writing. It could be blog, it could be emails that she sent out to potential customers, and we're going to feed that data to even personalize the agent more, so that agent can generate the resume like Mary Blessing is generating, if that makes sense. We are working to solve that problem.
Wow. So yeah, that is it. So I don't think there's any other question here. Thank you very much, Mary Blessing, for that question. We're actively working
Yeah,
on it
thanks for
just
hanging
to
out.
make it. I think that was the first
Yeah.
feedback. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the first feedback we got from the community when we demoed that
Mhm.
particular tool. People
Yeah.
said, "Oh, it doesn't sound like me," so we had to start making tweaks to it. I mean, it's AI. The more information it has, it starts getting better and better and better, and goes on and on. All right. So I'm really trying so that we'll skip this to 30 minutes, right? So
Mhm.
this is currently 34 minutes. So we are 4 minutes past time. Next week we're going to try to keep it to 30. Right. So yeah, but I hope that if you stayed with us up to this moment, that you enjoyed your time. You've been able to understand on a high level what Tublian is and the story behind the brand, why we are doing what we are doing, and it's also understand what we are building for you. So starting from next week, this is going to be it's going to come in episodes, so we can run one episode for like 2 months. So we do every Sunday for 2 months. Every Sunday, 5 p.m. EST, 11 p.m. WAT. I don't know what time it is in India. It should probably be like towards the morning time. But yeah, I mean, you can always come back to watch it later. So we are going to do in episodes. Maybe in the future we can try to invite guests and bring up some other like very interesting topic, right? So, hi Neil, I really enjoy
We
doing
should we
this.
should
Thank you
show
very
some
much.
early builds also, like build in public. Right, next week would be amazing to show demo of some of the agents that we are building.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Next week we'll definitely be talking
Yeah,
about one of the
yeah. Like
things we are building.
let's do some
Yeah, so
hacking stuff. Yeah, that'll be fun.
yeah, it will be
Um,
fun. Yeah.
all right, cool. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, I mean,
Right.
I
Yeah.
think the
So let me. I
StreamYard
want
is working really good.
before we leave. Yeah, yeah. StreamYard is amazing. Before we leave, I would like to give a shout out to our top 5 contributors. I mean, I think this would really be like an interesting way to give them a shout out. So we have, Kavindu Pasbasara. We have Nilesh Kumar Singha. We have Jai Shuhan. The Tech Oracle is number 4. We have George Bobby as number 5, right? And you can see their street cred. Let me show this profile of Kavindu Pasbara, who is number 1. So I'm trying to open his profile. So let's see what he has been up to and what he can do. Just all right. So this is his profile. Apparently, he wants to be a top contributor, so he has a badge here. Street cred, 5 connections, 63 street cred. He codes in Java, .NET, Python, both front end and back end, and he has been a member since June last year. Yep. So this is him. This is what he can do. This is some stacks that he can actually pick up, right? So if you are looking for a solid engineer to hire, you come across this video, you should reach out to Kavindu Pasbara. I'm going to share a link to his profile. So for those of you who would like to connect with him, yeah, this is the link to his profile. Just check the comment box. You're going to see the link to his profile. Reach out to him, connect with him on Tublian. You can look at his GitHub and other stuff that he has linked up. All right. So thank you very much, everyone. I really appreciate you staying to this moment. Thank you very much. See you next week. Let's do this
See ya,
sometime
precious.
later.
Take care.
All
Bye.
right. Yeah. Yeah. Bye. Bye.